Welcome back to the channel. In last week's episode we had a fantastic journey through the north of Spain before heading into Galicia and finishing our journey along the old Roman road linking Galicia to Portugal. So just a short journey from Porto Quintela, where we finished last week. Our journey took us through the mountains and across the Portuguese border.
So welcome to Portugal. What a beautiful introduction to this place. We came through a national park. So the road that we're taking is partially through the national park and then a bit further south. And what a fantastic way to get ourselves acquainted with Portugal. Absolutely stunning. Weather's not great today, so that's a caution. We've said before we very rarely plan to do anything. Steph had planned to do a nice walk today. Weather's not good, so and I've got the lurgy, but it's not COVID because I checked yesterday, so just man flu, which is worse obviously, but I'm hoping I'll pull through. So despite the weather not being great, we still came to where Steph wanted to do her walk. Because at the end of the day, the weather's the only thing one of the few things you can't really control at all. And I'm so glad we did, because if we hadn't have done that, then we hadn't driven down this amazing road. We're at this viewpoint now, just stunning, absolutely stunning. My expectations of Portugal were sort of built around the idea that people come here on beach holidays or maybe a city break. I didn't expect anything like this. It is absolutely amazing. So last night we stayed in Suaho, I think. Not sure on the pronunciation of that again, sorry. It was fine. €7 to stay in the car park overnight. €7 for the first couple of nights, and then €5 every night after. There's I think it's obviously a centre for hiking and biking and stuff. There's a bike service station there. It's quite a cool place. Fortunately, the weather's been horrendous since we got here, really. Steph managed to get chilly out for a little walk yesterday while I was dealing with my man flu. But we haven't had a really good chance to wander around. But we're heading a bit further south now. Sorry, still sniffling, obviously. And then we will be probably trying to get a campsite somewhere on our route, I think. So, see how it goes now.
So these strange looking objects look like some sort of Gothic tombs overlooking the village, but they're actually granary stores, and the crosses are apparently there to represent daily bread.
As you can probably tell, it is delightful here today. I think I said the other day how nice it is to have like a scenic drive. Well, there were bits of today that looked like they might have been scenic if we could have seen anything. It was terrible. Really heavy rain, mist, not great. So anyway, we've, as sort of discussed, we've brought ourselves to a campsite. We're in the town of Amarante. Steph's not feeling great today, so whether or not she's picked up my bug, although she can't have man flu, but she might have some less virulent female version that she needs to deal with. So I'm just going to go for a wander into town and see what's going on. Probably not ideal man flu recovery weather. So our night in camp in Amarante was peaceful last night. It's been non-stop raining really for the last 24 hours plus. Just under €20 for 2 adults, a chihuahua. They should really pay us to bring chili here, but and including electricity as well. There was a spotty Wi-Fi signal and some pay Wi-Fi that you could have as well. We didn't really have any, we didn't use it, but at least all our stuff is charged up now, so electrically we are good to go for another week or two hopefully. So we are at the Fiscus de Melo, which are the largest waterfalls in Portugal, I think. Steph had chosen this as a place to come to. Unfortunately, because the weather's not so great today, we won't get the full kind of effect, because you can swim in pools above the waterfall, which would have been good fun. But the good news is, with rain, obviously waterfalls are more impressive, so swings and roundabouts. Tonight's park-up is the Passo de Regua, and that is in the Douro Valley. I didn't know this, but this is where all the port comes from. Porto is at one end of the river, and this valley is where all the grapes are grown. And as you're driving along, you can sort of see quite clearly, really, all the terraces and stuff. Is a stunning drive again, really, really beautiful. Rain's gone away, which is nice after yesterday. But yeah, so free parking. It's €3 if you want electric per night, and that is you pay like locally, and they'll give you the thing to unlock the box. We don't need it. We charged everything yesterday. Yeah, so free park up. We're going to wander in now. This being port country, we're wondering if we can do some tasting. Yeah, so we just popped into the Museo do Douro, which was largely about like the port growing of grapes and whatnot in the region, and you get a free taste of port at the end. Must have been good stuff, because I think we both feel a bit like numb-tongued after that, but €7 to get in, including a glass of port. Can't fault it. Know a lot more about port now, next Christmas.
Including that there's white port.
Yeah, I didn't know that. But yeah, when I get my Brussels sprouts from Tesco's next Christmas, I'll make sure I'm a bit more like thoughtful about which port I pick up at the same time. So after our lovely free park up in Regua last night, and our awesome little bit of wine tasting and port tasting in the town, we're now driving up the Douro Valley. Wow. Yeah, again, I'm not sure how much the camera will pick up of this, but literally as far as the eye can see, it's hills with terraces just carved into the side now. Yeah, amazing place. Just like vineyard after vineyard after vineyard after vineyard, wine shop, stop off for tastings if you want. So we are following like a very loose plan going through Portugal, emphasize loose, and this sounded like a lovely place. It's on park for a night. Quite a sort of remote museum in the Coa Valley. Got here last night, it was Friday. Very, very quiet, really dark overnight. Got up this morning, car park full of tour buses, some sort of car event. Must admit though, it was a lovely stopover last night. We kind of forgot it was Saturday today to some extent. So we are booked at a tour further down the valley, so we're going to head to the other visitor centre now. So we did pop into the Museo de Coa earlier, worth a visit, €7 per person, perhaps a bit expensive for what it was, but it's a lot of modern interpretation of what this area is really famous for, which is Paleolithic art and rock carvings. If you haven't seen our videos before, we do like a rock carving. So our tour has taken us to a place called Castillo Lo Melo, I think it is. What a cool little village. I never get tired of walking round these kind of cobbled streets and these tiny little like arcades. So there are actually 3 main sites that are accessible of the rock carvings in the area. It's a working archaeological area, so basically access to them is limited to guided tours only. We were planning to go from the museum, which is why we went there. But when we went to check last night, 2 of the tours had been fully booked from there. So this is the second location. It's about 15-20 minutes drive from the museum, and yeah, we're just going to jump on a tour now. So we've just come back from our tour, and that was absolutely brilliant. I can't remember what the actual exact location was we went to. It started with a P, we'll put something on the screen for that, but well worth it. It was €16 per person. The guide was brilliant. We had Portuguese with us, and he spoke both languages really well. And yeah, just fascinating to hear about the history of this area and then get to see these like amazing rock carvings in place. Yeah, more than worth it. So we made it just about an hour away from the Coa Valley yesterday, and we're in a place called Celerico de Baio. This is another free motorhome stop, a little tiny village. So our road today is taking us out to the coast to Sao Jacinto. And why did we come here?
Because there's a massive nature reserve and there's loads of trails going through it and lots of bird life.
And what can we say about that?
All the trails are closed.
So yeah, nothing on the website that we could see, but hey ho, but at least we're down by the beach, so we're going to take a look at that now, and then
nice.
Found a couple of places we can park up close to the sea later as well, so it's not a dead loss, all good.
We moved on and found a park up. I've just come back out on the bike because on the way down to the park up, I said to Chris, "What are those birds over there? They look like flamingos." Chris was like, "I think there might be." So yeah, I've just come about 10 minutes back up the road on my bike, and yeah, there's wild flamingos in front of me.